The date is the 26th of Travago, year of our kingdom 998. The sun is less blazing when wandering the port. The air from the ocean always feels a little cooler than the air inland. In the situation, Kai and I have just seen Secret Elsa off at the ferry, sending her back to salvage for the night. The last 12 hours have felt like an unrelenting and persistent conversation. So while I take a moment to breathe in the sea air, let me lay my thoughts down neatly. First, Audrey Whistler and Luca, no name but also Kansan, have signed on to be temporary contractors under Brina Damadani, insofar as investigating the events that occurred on the 18th of Travago at Regalport's Grand Auction Hall. Sounds very formal and exciting, doesn't it? It is, in a way. Working for an illustrious name is certainly an exciting prospect, but the restrictions placed on us are certainly going to be felt. I don't know why about N or Audrey or Hendry, but I know that talking things through with Willow tends to help me focus a little better, and now Willow has been signed out of our conversations going forward. We knew that was the case, but going to bed with a head full of information and no shifter I can unload it on? Frustrating. Speaking of information, after signing the contract with Brina, we exchanged what information we had. I shared that Gillo had gotten the Aranese note translated, not realizing that the note was not supposed to have been in their possession in the first place. Endry reamed me out for that one after the meeting. But now we know, and now Brina knows. We know that Tarek had been poisoned by methylmercury over an extended period, an intentional poisoning whose intentions were not yet fatal. We know that Tarek had contact with some unknown creature whose bloodied tendons were found under his fingernails. We know that the man found dead in the berth, eyes missing and drugs in his system, was the anonymous artist who displayed at a new Corvair, and given the circumstances of his and Tarek's death, it's hard not to see a connection. We know that Arl's whereabouts were unconfirmed for an extended period of time at the event, leaving him with no alibi and under continued house arrest. We know that Warfred Bartosz, the artist Gillo is suspicious of, made himself very available to Brina for information, all the while pointing in every direction that seemed reasonable. Given Gillo is suspicious of him, that action could have been born of concern for a friend. It starts to feel insidious. And we know what everyone said that night. Arl Dothrani did it. Arl Dothrani is guilty. It was Arl's work that was the scene of the crime, so of course it was him. But Arl couldn't have done it. Arl doesn't have the constitution for it. Why would Arl desecrate his own work like that? It must have been Captain Frostridge. She was seen arguing with Tarek the night of the murder. She had the time to poison him. She's the one who did it. But no, it couldn't have been her. She was distraught at his death. She cared for him so deeply as to defend his honor with her blade in her hand. Why would she go to the trouble of resurrecting him if she was the one who murdered him? I think the only thing we can be sure of is this mystery is still a ways from unraveling, but hopefully with the memorial service for those who lost their lives at the auction and speaking with the victim himself, we may begin to get some answers. Speaking of, Kai, Sika, Elsa, and myself just this morning made for the Silver Dancer, the ship that Varys used to captain and is now headed by Meraldine Frostrid herself. And the conversation was certainly tense, not entirely unexpected. I can't really imagine what she's going through, so I don't know how I would react. And she is a captain under the High Prince. Nerves in people, quote-unquote, beneath her station are natural. But I did my best to show her we mean Tarek no ill will, we just seek his justice. And she seems to have approved of us for at least one more day. She even suggested bringing Secret Elsa back for further necromancy, which is as good a sign as any. And that left me alone in a room with her, putting my foot in my mouth. I'll admit, I thought the approach I took was the ideal one, offering her a perspective she might not have considered, captain to ex-captain. Now I think that might have been a mistake. I hope I didn't ruin our chances at solving this case. I suppose now only time will tell.
Thank you very much.
Me. Luca. Me.
Mika.
Willow.
Entry. Oh,
Very cute.
Willow and Endry.
Yeah, we have so many aliases going around at the moment.
I don't.
Luca it's either Luca or Luca no name.
Or Luca with a
I'm so
K.
sorry. I just dribbled a bit.
Fair. Okay. So, shall we pick up after the appointment with Captain Frostroot after lunch with Seeker Elsa and seeing her off at the ferry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
return
Luca
N.
and N.
Yeah, and probably
okay.
had lunch as N
Yeah.
with Elsa.
En's
Yeah.
the one who likes food, so.
Yeah.
That's true.
And Elsa. So Kai doesn't like anything.
Oh,
I'm never
Ah,
happy.
well.
God.
So yes, it's
I
N.
for episode 34. So that's the kind of headspace I'm in.
Yeah, add another 40 to that.
I am going to lead and covertly to a back alley and continue walking.
And his eyes narrow. Like, okay, this is my shtick. Where are we going with this?
Can you turn into
Kai?
Yeah.
And looks like up and down the alleyway. Are we about to get mugged? What's going on?
I just want to talk.
Okay. And like goes to pull up their hood and then realizes they're not wearing a hood. They'll just stand there. Like, okay. And just let themselves change over. The Kai, who looks expectantly at Luca.
And just keeps walking, nods his head like, let's go. Keep walking.
I will follow you.
So what did you think?
About the captain?
Mm.
She's definitely going to be difficult to get information out of.
Yes. She was very... Luca puts a hand in front of himself, like stopping something.
Guarded, angry.
Stress.
She is likely uncomfortable when she does not have power or control over a situation. And this is a situation that is, to a degree, very difficult to control.
Mm.
In addition, I sense that her feelings about Tarek are complicated.
Yeah, I got that too. When we spoke at the hospital,
I
there
nod.
was... let's say there were things other than affection.
Indeed. Being a celebrity couple in the public eye can come with unique strain and unique obligation, but speculating without proof makes us little better than the voices of Brayland.
What's that?
The tabloid newspaper. Sensationalist gossip.
I much prefer objective news.
That would be my preference as well. At least
Crops are doing
news that delivers
30% better
facts.
this year.
Whatever the case, I would be careful with her.
I am assuming you were listening.
Yes,
But
but
didn't exactly go as I hoped.
no. Advice is likely not what she is going to be open to. Again, advice does not exactly contribute to a feeling of power or control over your situation.
Right.
And ultimately, we don't know her motivations. very difficult
Luca
to
nods.
convince someone of anything when you don't know their true motivations.
Well, I wasn't trying to convince her of anything. I just wanted to make sure she had everything listed down when she considers what she wants to do.
It's a noble effort.
Luca kind of grins at that, like, oh. What did you go back in for?
You were there, I'm sure you heard. I simply wanted to ask if she had changed her opinion on the culprit.
Had she? I don't eavesdrop like some people.
She seems to be of the persuasion that she doesn't care who did it, as long as they are brought to justice. She did not name Arl again.
Do you think she doesn't care? It seems like a difficult thing not to care about.
Well, that depends, Luca. That depends on her involvement.
You're suspicious of her?
I'm suspicious of everyone,
Hmm.
and we cannot ignore the fact of the people she has been seen speaking with.
That did seem like a first meeting, though.
I would not count on that, considering the letters that have been exchanged between her partner and the man in question.
Do you think they share that much?
It's not impossible.
Hmm.
We don't know what that deal was, and until we do not know what her involvement could have been. It's perfectly possible that she is another target, victim, toy, but cannot be blinded by that prospect. I also question why she wants to continue to use Elsa.
Well, one would hope it's simply because Elsa is the best at what she does, but
One would hope. It is worth investigating before we relax.
have you ever relaxed in your
No.
life? Hmm. You should try it. I will take you to a spa when this is all over.
Take N instead.
Well, I need to do some shopping. What about you?
There is a stop N would like to make, but does not require your presence.
Luca kind of quirks an eyebrow at that. Go on.
Kai digs around in his pocket and produces a business card.
It's the little studio address for Jaylee Hazelwood.
Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Maybe better if went alone. Well, not you. You're not very warm.
She does not know who I am, no.
No. Hopefully never.
Ideally.
All right. In which case, Luca raises hand, little fist, towards Kai.
Kai stares at it.
Come on.
Kai stares at Luca.
Come on.
Kai's gonna pocket the business card and turn to walk away.
Oh. He is no fun.
Well,
God.
Who are we following first?
I think we're cutting back to earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Besides
Back
the-
to
My
the
favorite
Gold
shifter artificer.
Dragon. Yeah.
Hi.
So, Willow, what are you up to after Anne and Luca have left to go get Seeker Elsa and go to their appointment?
I know that Willow laid around a bit thinking about like boats. That would be nice, but like I'm sure they don't last like that for very long because they have lots to think about. They have to change their jacket back to their pants for starters. So that has to happen in the morning, and I think they're just kind of gonna be idly thinking about stuff. They have a plan for the day, but that plan relies on another plan, and they didn't really get to enact that plan yesterday, so now that has been delayed for today. So just kind of mulling around all the pieces that they want to deal with today. There's a few things they want to hit up, like potions. They want to check some leads that they haven't been able to check yet, investigate where some people might be staying, but they know that they need company for it, and their only idea for company is gonna require a knock at a door again, and they're just like, not actively groaning about it, just like preparing for how to go about this. I'm sure they had breakfast on their own while thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, while you are mulling over your to-do list and
Tapping their pen on their book.
Yeah, just as you are finishing up transferring the bag of holding property from your coat to your trousers, you hear a knock at the door.
Any announcement with it?
Nope.
Willow's going to try and get near the door and like press their ear against it, see if they can see who that is. Can I roll a perception check?
Yeah, sure. It's Damon on the other side. You can tell because you can tell because he tries knocking again, and you hear how tall the knock is. You're like, that guy. Because nobody else would knock that high up the door without stretching their arm up.
Open the door and it's N like on their tippy toes. Yeah, okay, it's Damon. That's not what Willow expected. That completely throws them a little bit. Like, I imagine they do that quick scamper back from the door, like, oh, it's Damon. And then adjust. Be cool. They're fine. Cognate mask on, though. Yeah. And then they'll open the door.
Hey there.
Good morning.
Just you?
Yes?
Okay, I just wanted to say thanks for lending me that thing the other day. I've been using it plenty, but, figured I should ask if you want it back now. I have been kind of hogging it.
Did Willow not only give it to him last night? What is...
It's like 10 a.m.
Yeah, no, I'm just like... The way he's saying it's like I've left it with him for 3 weeks. Does my insight check reveal anything?
Good question. Think of it as an olive branch.
Oh! Okay, Willow's gonna stall out for a few seconds, but they'll respond.
Perhaps we shouldn't talk about this in a doorway. Would you like to?
Willow
Sure.
hands out behind them.
Yeah, if you make room
Yeah.
for him, he'll enter the room.
They will.
Yeah. He ducks under the doorway. God, he's so tall.
Yeah. I think out of habit, Willow is going to sort of like, as they go along behind him, they're just kind of clearing stuff a little bit. They weren't expecting a visitor. So just, pushing the chair in, rearranging, straightening up things that don't need to be straightened up.
You don't need to make yourself presentable for me.
I'm not.
Sure. So, do you want the Astroglow back, or...?
You can keep it. For now.
Okay, then.
After all, you seem to know how to use it.
Damon shrugs. I've used one before.
Hmm.
Does make all the math I was trying to do easier.
Good. Very good. Makes it all the worthwhile that I stole it then.
Willow's got that. What is Dame? Is he standing?
What's the vibe? I think he walked pretty far into the room and probably sat on a chair at the table that's in your room.
Is there anything by way of tea offering in this room? Do we have a kettle in here? Do I have leftover tea?
No.
Oh, sorry, not a kettle.
No.
Like a what's a teapot?
I don't think so, unless Willow has leftover tea from their breakfast, but...
Yes. Okay, then I think Willow will, if he doesn't sit, Willow will pull out the desk chair that they tucked in with a sort of gesture of sit down. And then, do I have tea left over from breakfast?
Do a
Yeah.
fortune roll.
Okay, what's that? How do I...
Roll a d20. You have a bit.
Cool. Imagine Willow pours it, and it's the last little dregs. And
Yeah.
the cookies from Elsa. I think Willow will I imagine Anne brought at least 2, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Probably 4.
yeah. Willow. Okay, well then Willow will make a saucer and put cookies on it, and hand it to him.
I think Damon's holds his hand up to politely decline. I'm good.
The tea and the saucer?
Yeah.
The tea and the saucer and the biscuits?
Yeah.
Oh. Willow looks dejected and goes and puts it on the table. Okay.
But he is sitting, at least, so.
Yes.
So, what are your plans for the day? Romance?
Pretty much. Maybe some errands.
Will these errands be taking you into the city?
He nods.
I'm also heading into the city. For errands.
So should we go together?
Suppose so.
The silence was so long between that, with Willow just like folding their arms and looking at the floor. But when they say "suppose so," they look like they are ready to get moving.
Are you ready now? Since
Damon's gonna roll an insight check. Nat fucking 1!
Oh my god.
Are you kidding? What's wrong with you?
Why does this
Are
keep
you for
happening
real?
to you, my man?
What's wrong?
What is it about Willow?
I don't know! This keeps happening!
When you build your like ultimate NPC and he keeps rolling nat ones.
I think Damon is like, you don't have to. We don't have to.
no, okay, I'll finish this then. If you don't, are you sure you don't want this?
No, I meant like you don't have to come along with me if you're. I'll just see myself out.
We
Willow doesn't know what to do.
Make an insight check. Well, that's better.
One.
He's completely fucking misread you again and thinks that you are only saying yes out of obligation. Like, for the sake of politeness.
No, I only offered tea for the sake of politeness.
Yes!
What?
Yes, people offer tea for the sake of politeness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I did out of politeness. And he didn't even take it, which is another thing people do out of politeness. Anyway, it's fine. Willow's zigzag line out again, and
I'm heading into the city anyway. I would not mind company.
Damon stops before he reaches the door. You sure?
Willow nods like 3 times in quick succession.
Okay then. Yeah, let's go.
Can I chug the tea? Can I just remove
Yeah.
my mask, chug the tea, smash the 2 biscuits?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. And take a deep breath of like, oh, and then put my mask back on, put my hat on, and follow.
Cool. You head out of the Gold Dragon and on your way into Regalport. Do we follow the scene or do we cut to somebody else? Let's follow the scene for a little bit longer.
Okay.
So what errands are you doing first?
Okay, the question is who's going to insinuate their errand comes first? Because
I think Damon says, like... I think Damon is like, so what you need to get?
Well, potions, I think, would be a good first start.
Oh yeah, right. Well... Sure.
Willow will march off in the directions of... Does it have to be that apothecary? Are there other apothecaries, or is it the best one?
Well... I'm sure there are other apothecaries. I say this as somebody who has, like, 4 different, apothecaries, like, on the same road. Some of them are even, like, just across from each other.
Competing. Okay, what kind of check do I have to do to see where to go?
I think to look for one, just make either a perception or investigation. Hey. Let's invent a new apothecary.
Okay. Imagine it to be like a well-stocked one.
Yeah. In
And,
that
like,
case, it's probably like a House Jurasco's standard apothecary.
Cool. All right. Willow's going to look in there. They're keeping a sort of backwards glance at Damon. What's his, like... Is he normal? Yeah. What's his vibe? Is he going to run off when they're not
No.
looking?
No, he's
Okay.
following along
Okay.
like a giant shadow. He's walking
Willow will
slightly
ask-
behind you because he's so much taller than you anyway, so like...
Such an awkward... Like, it's just so awkward to imagine that like Willow has to look behind them to see if Damon's there. Like I know they probably don't have to, but like it's not like we're walking side by side and chatting. It's like
No.
it's a line.
You are slightly
It-
ahead. He's like slightly behind you and to the side, so you only have to like turn your head a little bit to catch sight of him.
It's
Hands in his pockets, just looking about.
okay. Anyway, once they get into the shop, Willow's going to pause and say,
Do you need anything?
Well, I was gonna buy potions too. I think I mentioned something about that being part of the budget.
You don't have to do those. I can get those.
I'd like to get them. I mean, the only reason I didn't have them on hand is because I didn't think you would be, needing them yet.
Yes, well, okay.
Willow's going to shrug, like, I won't stop you, I don't know how to respond to this, and gesture idly that they're going to go look for potions
Okay.
themselves. They walk off fast. Willow is not only looking for health potions. I think they're also
Okay.
just kind of perusing. They're browsing, like,
Okay.
what is there. They're thinking of, like, just trying to jog their thoughts about what might
Sure.
be useful.
Sure. So, let me... So, there's a handful of things that are, like, standard.
Mhm.
So these all have brand names. But I will just simply tell you what the effect is. There's a potion of animal friendship, potion of climbing, potion of water breathing, perfume of bewitching, and oil of slipperiness.
Yeah, okay, so wait, animal friendship, climbing.
Water breathing,
Oh, we know that one.
perfume of bewitching,
Yep. And slippery.
oil of slipperiness, yes. Which is
Okay.
extreme all-purpose grease.
Nice. How much are these each?
They range between, at maximum, 35 gold pieces per dose and 20 gold pieces.
How much
Potions
is-
of healing are the cheapest by far at Jurasco's, like under the Jurasco's first aid brand at like 15 gold pieces.
Damn.
A
They're still pretty
dose.
expensive.
Yep. And this is severely marked down from the fact that Jurasco can mass produce them.
Wow. How much is the climbing one, out of curiosity?
Climbing is 20 gold pieces.
Wow.
It gives you a climbing speed.
Makes sense. I know someone that might need that. Okay, are there any special ones? Like status effect ones? Or
I will have a look.
thank you.
I will randomly generate some.
Oh yes.
Let's do. Okay. Hmm. I think there is a potion of. Let's roll a dice for this. That's a D10. Okay. There's a potion of lightning resistance. Makes sense.
It does make sense, yeah.
Especially in a sailing town. Anyway, that one's quite expensive. But it's a ward against lightning damage for an hour. I would say it costs about 100 gold pieces.
Willow gives such a face under their mask that's. I imagine that being like the first one they just kind of pick out, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
They'll place that one back.
Yeah. There is also a potion of growth. Let's say. It is advertised as for those who need to be unusually large, good for construction laborers or moving heavy tree stumps.
Great, cool.
Yeah.
How much is that one?
Let's say 75 gold pieces.
Can I keep picking up? Okay, imagine Willow's gonna see like think about it, glance at Damon. Is he still here? Yeah, I imagine he just towers over all of the.
Yeah, he's on the other side of the shop. I think. Probably talking to the cashier about buying healing potions in bulk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Willow's going to put that one back and try and pick up a potion that doesn't deal them psychic damage.
Okay. You find a potion of Cat's Grace.
That's nice. What does that mean?
For an hour or so, you have the effects of Enhance Ability Cat's Grace, which means that you have advantage on all dexterity checks and saving throws.
How much is that one?
That is quite expensive at like 120.
Even if it accomplishes nothing, it does remind me of Cat, which is nice. Yay. Thanks, universe.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not overly helpful.
No.
None of this is really helpful, except for maybe the healing potions. And I mean, N could use a climbing potion, but that's neither here nor there. We can... Well, maybe it is here or there. Willow's starting to think of, like... And what next time N might need to climb? I feel like the image of N climbing a wall like Nereus pops to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Like a strange possum. Anyway, that's not helpful either. I don't think they're gonna drop 20 gold on a climbing potion if it isn't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Is it necessary? Not yet.
Not going to the mountains or anything, so
Say again, Ron?
we're not going to the mountains or anything, so
Our current necessities are all very talk to people-ish.
Yeah, none of these make you talk good, otherwise Willow would be stocking up.
Here's the thing. The perfume of bewitching is that.
yeah, that's what I've been looking at this entire time.
Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, describe that one for me, please.
I think I'll find it. Tiny vial contains magic perfume enough for one use. You can use an action to apply the perfume to yourself. An effect lasts 1 hour. For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed towards at a humanoid. Of certain levels. Those subjected by the perfume's effect are not aware that they've been influenced by magic.
At all? Ever?
Nope.
Sorry, I heard bewitching. I thought of Duncan, and I just closed it off. But that's good, actually. So let's say Willow finds that one later, after their little disheartened one.
I think you skim
much is that
over.
one?
I think you skim over them and then you go back and look at things again, and you're like, "Oh, hang on."
Yeah. Willow
Yes,
does
so
the
this is
dejected
called-
walk. Oh, dejectedly walks off frame and then like quickly backs up. Like, wait, no, wait.
Yeah, Siren Song perfume. It costs 25 gold pieces.
Not bad if it saves a life. Namely, my own.
From perhaps a serial killer.
Maybe. Willow's mainly thinking of like. They have been thinking of their next approach to the Warfred thing. They haven't said it outright, but what they're doing today is trying to prepare for the Warfred appointment. A little bit, as well as everything else. But like, that's something that's weighing on their mind a bit. The witching potion sounds pretty good. Just because they didn't really get anything out of him last time. Maybe if they were more charismatic, they would. Okay. You know what? I mean, yeah. Oh, this is embarrassing to buy in front of Damon.
Definitely.
I think Willow's going to nod to themselves like, I'ma get it, and then look like, I don't want to buy it in front of Damon. But Damon is also the
Talk to the other
inspiration for getting
cashier.
it.
Damon's talking to one cashier. Could buy it from the other one. Quickly.
Yeah, there's 2 cashiers.
Okay. Yeah, Willow's going to probably hurry up to the cash register and try and very nonchalantly slide it across to them.
Okay. Make a charisma check. I want to see how nonchalant you really are.
How much is
Because
just flat
this
charisma?
Yeah, because this
Apparently
is
you had a
funny.
potion for that.
Yeah.
You don't make a scene.
Good.
That's fine.
I feel like Willow doesn't make a scene
feel
just by
pretty-
not saying anything. Sorry,
you,
go on.
you were pretty cool about it. Cool. So you are able to procure a vial of perfume of bewitching. We'll quickly drag that over to your character sheet.
Thank you.
And you can see the exact notes on that later.
Thanks. So 25 gold removed from my teams.
Yes, please. I'm gonna quickly... Yep, okay. Damon finishes up and has a paper bag filled with potions of healing.
I feel like Willow kind of scampers over to see if they can see, like, before he finishes up, or does he finish first? Because they want to, like, see how much he paid.
I think he finishes up first, and you don't get the chance.
Willow will loiter anyway. Probably pop up beside him.
What's the damage?
1 apiece and 1 extra, just in case.
Know the price.
Zeke stalls as he tries to multiply 15 by 4.
60.
Yeah. Oh, not that bad.
Willow's shoulders sag a little. They nod. He's probably not going to say it.
Did he not buy a potion for himself?
No, why would he?
Motherfucker.
He bought an extra. Yeah, Willow
for
might.
us.
Willow might ask.
You don't need one?
I've got my own ways around it.
Willow looks at his necklace very obviously.
My eyes are up
That's-
here.
Oh my god. Willow looks up at his face then.
Anything else we
And
need to get?
leaves. No. Willow just, that comment is like, absolutely not. Ugh. I just imagine Willow goes,
Out.
yep.
Ding ding.
Do we want to ding ding transition to another character? While we're all scoping around Regalport?
Sure. Let's pick up on Luca's little shopping trip. Not that it'll last especially long.
It will not. I am going to a place that sells tea.
There's plenty of places around Regalport that sell fancy loose leaf tea.
Thank you.
Give me a either perception or investigation check.
I'm gonna go with the one that isn't in the negatives.
That's fair.
And yet.
And yet. I think you look around the stalls somewhat helplessly.
Someone please help my boy.
until
Yeah,
until a vendor takes
and
pity
stay
on
with
you
me.
and asks you what you're looking for.
And I will say that I need a tea shop, kind friend.
I think you found the tea shop, actually. I think it's just you're looking for a specific kind of tea.
Okay, yes.
And you just got overwhelmed by choice and are like
But
mouthing along to the labels.
oh no.
Chamomile?
Strawberry sundae isn't a tea.
This is a bathtub.
Say euthanasia tea. Echinacea.
What?
Anyway, a vendor asks you what you're looking for, if they can help you as you like somewhat helplessly look through.
I would like some sleepy time tea.
Okay. Yeah. They give you some recommendations. It's probably stuff like vervain and baldrian and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, please spend 2 silver pieces on some very fine loose leaf relaxation tea.
Thank you. Sleepy time tea has been got.
Yeah.
With just mild embarrassment, so not the worst experience.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. In which case, let's pick up to N.
Yeah.
You're heading towards sort of the outskirts of the Quayside Court,
Yep.
towards the studio address.
Following it best I can. I'm decently familiar with the streets of Regalport.
Yeah. Okay, make a perception check.
Okay.
Cool. You find it without too much trouble. There's a nice little display case out front showing some of the sort of more conventional houseware ceramics.
Mm-hmm.
You enter into the shop, and it's one of those things where it's like the sort of storefront showroom area up front, and then the studio in the back.
Yeah, I assume I can't just waltz on into the studio, or...
There is somebody like being clerk at the moment, but not a huge separation.
Yeah, well, and might, like, start making their way towards the studios and just see if they're stopped.
Make a deception check.
It's like
Take
acting
it till you make it.
like they're supposed to be here. No.
Sorry, that's for employees only?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. And it's gonna, like, rewind back up to the counter. Is Jaylee Hazelwood in today?
Oh, do you know her?
Yeah, we met, last week. Can you tell her
What-
that Castor is here to see her?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
1 second, please. This person heads back and
In
there's
that
a brief
meantime,
moment of chatter.
yeah, and takes a really, like, deep breath. They're just really relieved that she's here, because they've been playing a lot of different images in their head right now. So in that moment
Aw.
alone, just take a moment to steady themselves.
Yeah. You hear from the back room the sound of Jaylee's voice and saying, "Oh, you can come back here." And the the clerk arrives again and it's like, "Well, guess she knows you, so
And gives, like, a playful little shrug, like, yeah, I guess I was on the right track after all. Thanks.
just careful back there.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of fragile pottery."
I'll watch my step.
You head into the back workspace. It's relatively nice in here. It smells interesting. Like wet and earthy, but also like clean in a way that maybe you aren't familiar with. It's almost reminiscent of like a laundry, like the back of a laundry sort of thing, with the smell of like water and steam and like a hot kiln. It's interesting. Anyway, you see Jaylee Hazelwood in her work clothes. She has her hair in a braid that is pinned up behind her head, in like a working apron that's a little bit stained over sort of simple everyday clothes. Very different from how you saw her at the gallery when she was dressed up for the event. She looks a lot more comfortable here. You find her like up to her wrists in clay at a potter's wheel, with a sort of misshapen lump.
Did I catch you at a bad time?
No, I mean, no, not really. I should probably put this away. Give me a second to wedge this back up and put it away.
Yeah.
She scrapes the wet clay off the wheel and starts brings it over to a work table and starts vigorously kneading it.
And bounces their brows like it's strong hands. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a very specific motion. She's rocking it back and forth until it sort of folds in on itself repeatedly.
Mm-hmm. Reminds it of dough a little bit.
Yeah. So, hi.
Hi.
It's been wasn't expecting to see you again so soon.
Oh, you were expecting
Are
to
you
see me at
okay?
all?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I'm okay. How are you?
I could be better.
Yeah, is it. Have you been okay since everything that happened?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, all things considered. It's just, it's stressful.
Yeah, of course.
The memorial is tomorrow, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised that it's happening so soon, what with everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's barely been a week.
Yeah,
Are you
everything
okay?
has been happening quite fast. Yeah, I'm alright. Did you wanna get out of here for 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Let me just finish this up. I should probably wash my hands as well.
Yeah, no rush.
So she finishes that up,
Yeah, and
goes
just
to a big
waits.
sink, rinses her hands off, wipes them off on a very crusty looking towel. Ceramics is murder on linens.
Truly.
Takes off her apron and lets her braid down and is like, okay, yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Do I know any nice places to walk around here, Zeke?
Oh, for sure. I'm sure you've wandered around. The Quayside Court has a lot of nice little parks and little patches of greenery dispersed amongst the buildings where you can just sit on a bench and enjoy the atmosphere.
Sure, yeah, sounds good. And doesn't know what they're doing, so we'll just find a nice place to sit, I guess. Walk, sit, whatever
Yeah.
Jaylee seems more comfortable doing.
I think she walks along with you and is like, nice weather today.
Yeah, it's been up and down, but
I suppose summer is rolling in. Probably likely to see a few thunderstorms before the month is out. Well,
Yeah.
no, it's already the 26th. Wow.
time does fly.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Has work been okay?
It's been fine. Obviously I haven't gotten a lot of new clients because of the way the night ended.
Yeah,
But that's not a huge deal. I had some projects anyway. So,
that's good.
guess that just gives me more time to work on them.
Yeah. No one's giving you a hard time then, huh?
No, I'm good. You?
Well, I've been rather busy since I'm trying to solve the murder.
She sort of you what?
Let's say one thing led to another, and I ended up working with that detective. You remember Brina? Oh,
Yeah, I do. Wow.
yeah. Well,
And you just stumbled into that?
more or less. I have a good eye, and then like makes a gesture to their one good eye.
Sorry, that's pretty. Wow. I mean, I'm glad. Honestly, I was kind of worried because the whole thing about that place is that we were told not to use magic and stuff like that. I was worried that you'd get in trouble because you were defending me and stuff.
eh. Whatever trouble they could get me in, I've seen worse.
Well, I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah. And you're sure you're alright?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be okay. Honestly, before you found me, before you visited, I was kind of just working through my feelings, you know?
Yeah, I get that. But I also know that first time I saw something that messed up, I had nightmares for a very long time. Is
Yeah.
that your first time seeing anything like that before?
Um, First time up close, but uh, honestly, I've kind of had night terrors since I was little, so it's.
Mhm.
She sort of gives a helpless shrug and an awkward smile. I know how to make sure I'm doing okay.
Ah, birds of a feather then.
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of come out to Regalport to try and, you know, get away from it all.
Bad memories back
Leave the-
home?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure other people have had it worse, but like, you know how it is.
Yeah. You know, the reason I was so drawn to your piece at the gallery was because my father, he also died in the war.
Jaylee gives you a sympathetic look. You want to talk about it?
Eh. I don't know. It's a long time ago. Same for
What
you?
was your... Yeah, I mean... I was about a teenager when my dad died. So
in duty or
yeah, he was you know, the mountains to the west where all the monsters are?
I've heard of them.
He was stationed at a fort there, and he was a knight before all of that. He'd been in the military for years, but he'd made it to knighthood and
Wow.
got stationed there, so it was really rough on me.
Yeah, I can imagine. Was he around much or?
Mm, less and less each year.
Yeah. That's hard.
But he always sent letters home. So,
Oh, it's clear you loved him.
yeah. He was really supportive of my art, you know? Um, he wanted to make sure that I could do what I wanted to do.
That's parents for you.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
was your father like?
Wow. Let's see. You like to draw? Would have preferred to pick up a pencil over a sword any day.
Hmm.
Did his best to take care of us, but then shrugs.
Yeah. I'm sure he's proud of what you've become. I mean, you made it all the way out here. Now you're working with House Madani to solve a murder case.
Yeah, it might surprise him. The tiny little marshmallow he raised. Like a full-fledged detective. I'm sure your father would be proud of you too.
I'd like to think that.
Working in
I
a
mean-
Thrani studio, showing your art off at prestigious galleries. We'll just shave off the ugly parts.
I don't know about that last bit.
Maybe that scene's not for you?
No, I'm shaving off the ugly bits.
That's true. You are an artist. We're not really in the business of hiding from some of the harder parts of life, are we?
That and I think because I've had a hard time in life, it makes me appreciate how good I have it now. You know?
And nods.
I get to live by the sea in a pretty town where I don't have to worry about soldiers encroaching or war. I work in a studio. I make enough money from my ceramics to live well, comfortably.
Good life.
Yeah. I still miss him though.
Yeah. En's actually gonna reach under their t-shirt, or their other t-shirt, their shirt, their button-up shirt, and pull out their 2 rings. Kind of let them catch the light a bit to show Jaylee.
Jaylee looks with interest. Your father's?
And my Mada's. The ache never
Sweet.
really goes away, does it?
No.
But they're always with us. Right here.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it means to love your kids, right? Someday you'll have to say goodbye and they'll live without you.
Yeah.
And you hope they know you love them. You know?
Yep. That is how it works. If you ever want to talk about him, my ear's always open. You can even write me a letter if you want. Seriously.
Thanks. That'd be nice.
And maybe when I can think up a better description for mine, I'll let you know.
I'd like that.
And
I think I think Jaylee sort of shyly tucks like a little bit of hair behind her ear and then sort of gives you a quick squeeze on the upper wrist and says, "Thanks for looking out for me."
yeah, no problem. Hey, and it's gonna like take her wrist now actually and look at her a bit more like straightforward.
Yeah?
And stalled out. Listen, that guy I mentioned, the one who's been a problem before.
Yeah.
He hasn't been
remember.
around, has he? You didn't see him or his
No.
butler?
No, I haven't. Yeah, I honestly haven't gotten anything more since the auction. I don't even know if they ended up selling the pieces that were actually sold that night because of what happened, but yeah, no, I remember what you said.
And nods. If he does come around, can I ask you to contact me? Let me know.
She nods.
And nods back. Like, realizes they've kind of held on to her and lets go. I don't mean to freak you out. It's just... Can't be too careful these days.
She nods. I trust you.
And nods again.
I mean, you did kind of save my life, so.
You would have been fine without me, I'm sure.
I don't know about that. I mean, I'm really not a fighter.
I'm sure you could have punched out a zombie if you really tried. And makes a punching motion.
I don't know. Anyway, the least I can do is listen to your advice. After you've done so much for me.
And nods.
I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm kind of shy, so.
You do all right.
Yeah, well. It's nice talking to you.
You too. You might be shy, but you're good with words.
Thanks.
Yeah.
She sort of looks a little bit away.
Just have to get you out of your shell a bit. Oh, the real flower blooms, right?
She, like, giggles and, like, covers her face. It's like uh, um,
Are you?
Jaylee stalls out.
Yeah. Wow, what a segue this is gonna be. Are you gonna be coming to the memorial tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I am. You?
Yep, I'll be there.
Okay.
So feel free to find me.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
All right. Oh, probably kept you long enough. Have to go and shape the plane till it becomes more than just strange little blobs.
Yeah, I guess I should. If I wanted to send you letters, how would I do that?
Yes. And we'll shuffle around for a scrap of paper. Well,
You give her the address to your post box.
Yeah. Well, I'm staying in Regalport. This is my post box. And I will let you know if that changes.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Coster.
Nah. No problem, Jaylee. You take care.
You too. I'll see you tomorrow night then.
See you there. And like, I imagine we might have been walking back around that point.
Yeah.
So, because En's not gonna like, it would have been awkward to just walk with her in
Yeah.
silence, but En wouldn't let her walk home. We'll walk back to the place alone. So,
Yeah. Sounds good.
lets her off, turns around, stares down the street, trying to figure out what that was. Just like feels completely confused about what happened to them and what just happened there. And then, yeah, I guess we'll just go back to the Gold Dragon. No, wait, we had something else we wanted to do. We wanted to investigate the bank. Now we have to investigate the bank. And he goes like walking a full block and then turns around and goes walking back the other way because they remembered where they need to go now.
You must see the face I am making. You truly must see the whole of the face I held through that entire conversation.
You have a pen pal.
You have a pen pal. You exchange digits, but like the digits are a post box. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
addresses.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad. We'll talk about that later, but like, you know.
Yeah. Let's cut back to Willow and Damon.
It's yes. Okay. Speaking of. Okay. I think at this stage, Willow's going to be idly wondering to the tune of where would they think to find Latila? Can I roll something to think about this?
Make a history check. Okay, so you are well enough informed that you know that Captain Latila Feyruz is the captain of the ship the Winter's Blade. So, if you wanted to go find her, you could ask around where that ship is. If she's not aboard the ship, then she is likely... There's at least likely to be somebody who knows where she is.
Okay. So my goal is to start at the ship. Would the ship be docked
Yes.
here? Like,
Yeah.
is it docked or is it out a bit further?
It's docked, because it's docked.
Okay. But, and I would, have to start there for information?
That would be your best bet, I would say. It's either that or going to the whole of the Port Authority and being like, "Hi, can I talk to one of the captains of the Sea Dragons? Are they in?"
You know what? That sounds like a plan, doesn't it? That sounds kind of like a plan. Does it sound like a plan? Ish. I've been here before.
I guess.
Sounds like the plan of someone avoiding the docks, but you know.
Yeah. Look, I didn't think you could read. Stop that. Okay.
Oh my god, I can't. My father
ready
never
for
told
12.
me.
What? Anyway, I think Willow's going to head towards the Port Authority.
Okay. I think
There,
as
I'm
you're
gonna do a
walking,
perception check.
I think as you're walking, Damon makes a little comment of like, heading to the hull of the Port Authority, huh?
Yes. Is that a problem with you?
Nope.
Okay.
Just curious.
Willow nods. They look a little nervous. Like, not nervous, but they are going to do like a quick, urgent check around for anything.
Okay. Just Damon in your vicinity is the only person you recognize. There's nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. Yep. I feel like Damon casts a big shadow in the
He
sense
does.
of if people are looking, they're looking at him. So there is a
Yeah.
sense of like anonymity that his presence allows that will reassure Willow a little. The other option is, of course, who is that guy in red? And that strange warforged they're walking with. That would also be.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's not too bad. So anyway, Willow will muster up their nerve to go to the front desk of the Port Authority, I suppose.
Yep.
Okay.
You walk up to the front desk after waiting in the queue for a little bit, and actually, no, you do have to wait in the queue for a little bit. And Damon asks, "So, what you here for?"
I'm looking for a captain.
Of the guard?
No, of a boat. Well, a ship. You know what I mean when I say boat. It's interchangeable. Not all the time, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
I get it.
Mhm.
I know what you're talking about, but didn't think there'd be many around here. Seems a bit stuffy for pirates. Yeah, what do I know? You head up to the front desk. It is your turn.
Okay.
Good
day, how may I help you?
afternoon. Hi. Pardon me. I was wondering, where would I be able to locate Captain Latila Favors?
That is the captain of the Winter's Blade, correct? Do you have an appointment?
No.
Well, you can either find her at the Winter's Blade, or if there's a meeting of the Sea Dragon captains. Would you like to make an appointment?
Where do the Sea Dragon captains meet?
Well,
When?
here. When?
When?
I couldn't say. I'm not privy to that information, and I don't think it's public knowledge either.
Right. Well, an appointment. You mentioned an appointment.
Yes, if you would like to, I can try and get you an appointment with the Captain Pharaohs.
Do the appointments take place on the vessel?
Not necessarily. I believe it's up to the captains.
Good. Well, I would like to have an appointment then, and ideally not on the vessel.
Okay, well, let me look through. Leaf through the paper. It looks like the next available appointment is in 4 months' time.
Ah.
Yeah, she's the Winter's Blade is actually supposed to set sail last week, but it has been delayed.
Of course. So if I want to meet with her before she sets off, then vessel it is.
Something like that. Either you manage to talk your way up the ladder, or you wait a while.
Suppose you don't know where she goes for a drink. I'm kidding.
Actually, you might know where she goes for a drink.
Wait a minute, the
Willow?
trove? Or
Yeah.
Willow Willow says
Willow
I'm
has her
kidding
own
and then
brain
has
blast.
like, wait a minute. Willow says I'm kidding and then goes
Wait,
and stands there for a minute. What's our receptionist doing?
If you're done,
I am. Ah, a question.
yes.
Have you, when is Prince Ryga due to leave?
I am unaware. He is staying here for now.
Okay. Have you heard news of, Mr. Greenleaf at all?
I don't recall.
And,
Should I know that name?
Then Willow started talking about something else, but they've paused. Nope.
you will.
Alright.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Willow scampers away.
Yeah, you hear it just
And-
as good after. They're gone.
Clicky clacky of Willow's shoes as they leave, and they sort of wave to Damon, who I imagine is sitting massively in a waiting area,
Yeah.
to follow them. And when he rejoins them, I think
Yeah.
Willow will say,
You're right, this place is too stuffy for pirates. You hungry?
Don't tell me you're treating me to lunch already. Yeah, let's
Willow
go.
gives him a side look, like Willow's still walking at pace, but gives him a side look.
Yeah,
like, I
he's-
have once before. So.
It meant it's early in the day, but it's like whatever.
yeah,
He keeps pace with you so easily.
yeah.
Like every
Every
three
three
steps
of my
he
steps.
takes one.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Are we going there like right now?
Are you?
I wouldn't mind checking it out. Like just for the off chance. Is it lunchtime-ish?
Yeah, let's say it's about like noon-ish,
Okay.
one-ish.
It's I mean it's a stretch, but like it's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
Better than going on a boat. So what do I have to do?
You just go there, but I think along the way Damon asks, so can I ask why you're looking for
The captain.
Yeah, Captain Fairuz. Right?
Do you know anything about her?
I know she's a sea dragon. I know which ship she captains. I know she likes art.
Willow tips their head at him. Does he know more about her, or is that just like what you gather from her attending an art gallery?
It's more of like he knows her general reputation.
Oh,
Ah, you may know more about her than I do. I just know that she is Captain Froster's friend.
Huh. Damon gives you sort of a look and then turns away to keep walking, keep looking where he's going.
what's the look for?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
There it is.
You don't know.
What's these nat ones always come with a I don't know plus negative. What's the I feel like Willow's going to low-key be like slow down a bit, like they have maybe not thought this through, because something about Damon's face is given like stupid plan energy.
Damon outpaces you for a second and then stops to look at where you are. What?
I'm not sure what I'd ask her, even if she was there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like one of your best plans. What are you trying to figure out?
Willow's gonna give a little glance around, and then
You know, things that only a friend might know.
Right. And... Ooh, yeah, that's, Yeah, I don't think you thought this one through, Twinkle Toes.
yeah, I think Willow's thoroughly disheartened by this thought person. Look, they had a thought of like a thread they were following earlier that was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. But then like this has immediately taken the wind out of their sails. They're the nerves catches up with them. I think they would have been able to outrun those if they hadn't like
Stopped and
overthought
thought
it,
about it.
yeah, now they're thinking about it, and that is their worst enemy. So they are probably going to unfortunately not one agree with Damon and turn on their heel a bit.
Okay, then I have somewhere else to go then.
Let's say.
Okay. Right, well. Let's put a pin in Faeruz and... What's next?
Willow's gonna start heading towards the Quayside Court. That's where the Galleria is, yeah?
Yep. You head to the Galleria of Shadows. Immediately, what you can see on the exterior is a big, suspended
Oh.
sign over the poster for the Folly of the Four Sons.
I think Willow like halts, takes a little breath at that. But will force themselves to go closer and probably have a look at it. Probably have a look around as well. See if anyone's here.
Yeah, there's still somebody at the counter to take questions and so on. Sell tickets for future showings. There is a different play that also is like running simultaneously. It's not like a one stage
One
only.
show, yeah.
Yeah, place. It's
Yeah.
like it's quite large. There's like maybe 2 or 3 going at a time.
I wonder if it's worth having a look inside. Not really, not until we have more leads. But you could meet someone, but I guess it depends what we're gonna ask them. Willow's that really psyched them out before. I feel they're trying to like catch their wits. I think they're gonna try and approach the cashier before they talk themselves out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll muster up there. They will.
Yep.
And approach the front desk.
Yep.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How may I help you?
I see that the play has been suspended.
Yes. The folly has been suspended for a few weeks due to unforeseen circumstances.
Unforeseen.
Yes.
That's a shame. How many weeks?
I believe 2 or 3. I would need to check the exact date when it's supposed to start airing again.
Will it have all the same costs?
I believe so, yes. There's been no changes announced as of yet.
Hmm.
Did you purchase a ticket, or are you interested in purchasing one?
Willow instinctively shakes their head when they ask if they're interested in purchasing one, and then pauses, like, wait, no, like, this might be useful to lie through.
Actually, when is the next available to purchase? And how much is a ticket?
Let me look. I believe a ticket is... Did I write this down somewhere? That's a real fucking question.
I think the main thing Willow is checking is whether the prices have gone up since last time they checked.
No, I think it would be still the
It's
same.
about the same. I think Willow... Whew, they might lean in a little bit
I think
now.
it's like
talking...
5 gold for a
Yeah.
ticket.
Yeah. I remember you said this like ages ago, like session 10. No,
Yeah.
not 10. Not 10. It was, yeah,
Like
12
11 or
maybe.
12.
Yeah. I think Willow might lean in a bit and mention...
And it is still going ahead, even with what happened.
What do you mean?
I'm going to insight check this person.
Sure. This is just a clerk.
They don't know that the playwright died or anything?
No. That's been kept hush, remember?
It was in the paper a little. Damn, they're really obituary zone Tarek, like in fine print.
Yeah. Well, if Miraldine has her way, he won't be dead for long.
Wow. Okay, so 2 to 3 weeks from now, the folio will show same cast apparently, and these guys don't know about Tarek. Willow will wave that
Or
off.
like, if there's anything that's like been sort of internal talk of that, this person who just works the cash register does not is not privy to that. Are you talking to the attack on the Grand Auction Hall? Well, nothing like that will happen here, I assure you.
You can assure that.
I understand that there was a serious issue of corruption amongst the Grand Auction Hall staff.
Is that so?
Yes, otherwise the attackers would not have been able to bribe their way in past the security.
The security is not screened in the same way as the Galleria?
I assure you that House Thorani has only the very highest of standards.
Quick question: was not the auction hall also House
No.
Thorani, or just the show was House Thorani?
Just the show.
Right, gotcha. But the place itself is run by what's his face?
Yep. The Grand Auction Hall is just like a commercial building. It was just
Right,
that
yeah.
like Thorani was sponsoring the gallery.
Mm.
Thorani was like financing artists to come here and display stuff.
Hmm.
You know, it's like the difference between like a bank owning a building and a bank holding a fundraiser
Yeah, makes sense. It's
for
just a whole-
charity and that sort of thing.
Yeah. No, just double checking. Okay. Willow will nod then.
That's good to know. A question, then. I don't know very much about the House Thorani presence here in Regalport. Not as much as I'd like to. Would you happen to know how to get in contact with the main names of the house?
I wish that I did. That would certainly put me in a much better position than simply working the front desk.
It's a necessary
you
job.
weren't. You weren't joking.
No, I'm.
Well, I'm sure there's an art house or perhaps an informational pamphlet that we have around here that talks about House Thorani's legacy. I'm sorry, I just work here.
Willow nods. Apologetically, almost. Not apologetically, it's a bit stiff and awkward and a bit embarrassed. But they give that look of like, if you have a pamphlet, I will read it. So
Yeah, I think he hands you a pamphlet.
what kind of pamphlet is it? General?
I think it's a pamphlet about the Gallery of Shadows building.
Willow looks it over like, oh, interesting. Anyway, read that later. They'll look back.
So the main names don't accept, I don't know, fan letters? Visits?
Certainly not visits, but if you know a Thorani artisan whose work you admire and such, I am sure that the enclave itself, that you could address any fan letters to via them. They do have their main headquarters in Regalport, after all. It's kind of hard to miss.
Of course. Yes. Well, okay.
Willow
Have a
goes,
nice day.
Yep. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
You as well.
No, leave. They don't really know what they were going for. Like they're losing their losing steam quite quickly.
Yeah.
Trying your best.
Yeah.
Damon sort of watches you come back, seeing the little slump in your shoulders, and says, "Not as productive as you'd want to be."
Willow takes a deep breath to recover themselves. They don't want to be a sad sack around him. And once their head is up, they will shake it. Like, no, it wasn't, but
Not completely hopeless. We have options.
All right, then. That's good. So, where to next?
I think for a little bit, Willow just kind of stands there. They're obviously thinking, but they're a bit frazzled.
How about lunch?
Willow will nod.
My treat for a change?
Sure. I can't eat though, so
I'll just get takeaway.
I think Willow will still, if not suggest the Trove, then somewhere near the Trove. They want to still
Sure.
check it, they just kind of feel stupid about it.
Sure. Well, while Damon and Willow head to that part of town, I'm sure there's like a cafe or like a sandwich place that's nearish there that you can
Yeah.
like walk past. So we pick back up with N heading over to the bank. It is easy enough for you to just act like a normal customer.
Thank God.
Yeah.
An
Look,
act.
literally what you're asking about is just like, hey, what's the standard policy of loans for private citizens versus businesses,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And it's like the kind of stuff that they print on like a promotional pamphlet.
Easy done.
But give me an intelligence check to parse legalese.
Good. Not great.
There's a lot of stuff about interest rates and compound interest, but it looks like, at the very least, they do offer. They have a standard policy of loans that are like up to, I want to say, 500 gold pieces for private individuals, which is like a substantial chunk of change, and that is at a certain interest rate. Let's say like at 1%
All
or something
right.
like that.
Well,
And then it's like you see the increments going a little bit higher, or like the increments vary depending on how much you're actually borrowing. And then it comes up to, I think the maximum probably for an individual is about 1,000.
all right. Did we
Bearing
ever...
in mind that like your average person's wage per day is about like 8 silver.
Yeah, so this is quite sizable by comparison.
Yeah.
Do you have a number of like what is 1,000 gold in real people money?
No.
No.
So,
No.
so did we ever get a estimate of how much resurrection was gonna cost, or was it just like lots?
I don't think you ever got that estimate, but you can look around at because this is a Kundarak bank, you can also look at like you can do some additional legwork of like how much does spell casting cost.
Sure, I'm already here.
So give me an investigation check. Okay.
Better.
So you have a look around at like mage right services. You do a little bit of legwork. You know that your obviously like the more you can production line or like mass produce a spell effect, the cheaper it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Average spell casting expenses. Do I have that? Okay, so your average spellcasting expense will be the level of the spell
Right.
squared times 10. So if it's a level 1 spell, it'll usually cost between like around 10 gold plus whatever consumable cost,
Right.
material cost is involved. That's usually in dragon shards. So, for example, getting a magic item identified or such would be about 10 gold.
Right.
Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on where you're getting your service from.
Makes sense.
Raise Dead is a 5th level spell
Quite a
with
jump.
very expensive
Yeah.
material cost.
Yeah. I'm vaguely familiar
Usually,
from Penumbra in a
usually
meta level.
the cost of a usually any spell component that is consumed by the spell, the cost of that is calculated as double.
Right. Yeah.
So that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I
So
can see how the price would amp
rack up
pretty
real quick.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you don't do the exact math yourself, this is something that you could definitely take to Willow and be like, hey, how
Yeah.
much would this cost?
Yeah,
You
and
also
taking
can think of, like-
pamphlets.
Yeah. You know what? You probably can also swing past, like, the library or the hospital itself. Actually, are you going to go past the hospital itself and see what, like, their rates are?
You know what? Yeah, let's go to the hospital. I also want to check some other things out while I'm there, just by being in the
Okay.
building.
Sure, yeah.
Could Luca go with you?
I don't
You
know.
could meet up with Luca again.
Yeah, if he wants to.
if you
I'm
wanted
happy. Run into Luca. Maybe we can like run into Luca and looking at the pamphlets, straightening out their head,
At the
walking
bank.
towards the hospital, walks into Luca, who purposefully stands in N's way.
Waiting to be met.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine by me.
Okay.
So N walks into Luca.
Yeah. Luca spots and deliberately places himself in their way.
And like jolts back and almost looks like they're gonna start a fight, like they're ready to fight. And then relaxes.
What are you reading?
Boring stuff. You busy?
No.
Good. You're good cover then. Box Luca on the nose with the pamphlets. We're going to the hospital. Come on.
Oh.
So Ed's gonna start leading the way.
Why are we going there?
I'm just gonna check out a couple things.
It is where you're going to work tomorrow.
Yeah. So
You head over to the Blessed Wings Hospital. What are you looking for?
Well, aside from checking rates and stuff, I guess there's no particular way I would know where the Speak with Dead ritual is going to take place. Would I be able to... Would I know that? Or have any inkling? Can I ask about that, actually? Is that information I can be given?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Nice.
You guess, well, you know that Tarek Elham is being kept at this hospital, and that Meraldine has to make the arrangements for the ritual. Likely, it's going to be conducted within the hospital in a suitable space for such. You're not sure. Either like a room adjacent to the morgue or something like that.
All right. What's the morgue made out of?
What do you mean?
Material of the
The
walls.
walls.
Uh,
Are we dealing with
brick
wood?
and plaster. It's like a brick, plaster, wood, mortar. It's not drywall because that's not really. It's I guess brick, wood, and plaster.
Okay. So, not 2 feet of rock.
Maybe some metal for certain parts, like the
but not
piping.
solid sheet. And like
No.
staring at the walls and trying like tapping into all the architecture knowledge that they have, tapping it with
Yeah.
their knuckles, and Luca watching.
Yes. Yes. I will say the other thing that you find out is like you ask what like a rate for a room is
Yeah.
in the hospital. I can look that up. I swear I have that somewhere. I think it's because I put that in a session notes thing that I didn't bring up. Do you remember what session you guys went to talk to Meraldine, like the first time around?
I'm sure I can find out with my.
I'm sure it's emblazoned on your mind since it was an Edmund. Hey, wait, I wrote it down actually. I know this.
Oh,
It's
yes,
race.
I found it.
Oh, okay. You won.
68.
Yeah. Okay, yes, so. Did I actually. Oh, I didn't include all of my math.
Oh, wait, show you.
Damn it.
Winks at the camera.
You
Hides.
can give me just the whereabouts.
I think, God, I need to work backwards. I had notes on where. Did I throw those away? I threw those away. No.
No.
Never throw
It was
anything
written
away.
on a scrap. It was written on a scrap of paper.
Aw.
Actually, hold on.
No.
Let's see if I
Hands
can.
you an astro globe. Maybe this can help.
How's Luca looking at N as N is like surveying the construction of the building, like subtly?
Confused.
It's like they're scoping out the area. They're probably also like kind of getting an idea of the floor plan of the hospital a bit and how busy
Yeah.
it tends to be. There are a lot of
Relatively
people
busy.
moving about.
Although you can never determine how busy a hospital is going to be because you can't always expect an emergency.
No,
Yeah. And just getting a feel for the place.
I don't have it. I think it was probably like room and board at moderate or comfortable level. Organize your notes, kids. Expenses.
Save your life.
In stay modest. Okay, so it's probably like between 5 silver and 1 a day.
Right. That adds up.
You know that like she would be using the spell Gentle Repose, which putting that in your head is like 40 gold
Total? For like the
to
duration?
per casting
Okay.
of it.
How long does each
That lasts
casting-
for 10 days.
Okay.
So about 3 times a month. 3 times a
Yep.
month? Yeah.
Yep.
30 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Eberron months are a bit different, but
Yeah. Just
just by a couple days.
But
so-
rounding it up.
Yeah.
no, the issue was I was like, there are 40 days in a month, right?
No.
So close.
Yeah, okay, so that's another expense, but it's only been almost 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
A week. It's been a week. God.
week.
Wow.
So yeah, that adds up to, and okay. A lot of gold flying around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me one more intelligence check to see if you can guesstimate how much money.
Absolutely not.
You like try and do the math in your head, and it's like,
I need to write
this
this
is an
down.
insane this is an insane amount of money, and you don't have enough. You're missing a lot of variables.
Yeah. I
You-
need a notebook and
you-
time. I can't do this in my head.
Yeah. Anyway, but while you're struggling with that, will you make me a perception check?
Okay.
I'm gonna make one too, because
That
I'm just
tone of
standing
your
here
voice?
looking around.
Yeah,
Never
you're just
mind.
standing there. No,
Wait,
you
I'm-
can. Luca should as well, right? To
Yeah,
see if
Luca
you see
can.
what you see.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Oh yeah, Lucas is the first
Yes.
level.
Okay, so
I'm not preoccupied by maths.
no, you're not. So with an 18, you spot the stride of Captain Frostroot as she is exiting the
click.
building.
Click, click, click.
As she's like, I think she's probably in an adjacent hallway. Yeah, you like have definitely heard the clack clack of her impeccable boots suddenly come to a halt in an adjacent corridor. I think you're like just slightly to the side. It's in a sort of semi-public space. She comes to a stop, and there is the voice you recognize of Lydia Leela Stithirani.
Oh! Casually wander a bit closer, just like I'm trying to get out of the way
Do I
of
get
everyone
to-
who's walking.
Do I notice this
Yep.
a bit later, or?
I think Luca probably alerts you to it.
Yeah, I think N might change into Kai at that point, just like
Yes.
they know they're not spotted yet, but
Yep.
just to be safe.
Both of you make a stealth check.
Oh,
Oh, good boy.
Hey,
Kai
group
goes
stealth.
Kai just melts into the shadow.
I think Kai
With the
like
breastplate.
yeah. Lucas starts to emerge, and Kai just puts a hand
on his chest and pushes
just
him
to be
back
like-
into the shadows again, like he did the other time.
oh, this
Yes.
keeps happening.
Kai appears just to stop you from busting Boobily into a bad situation.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, what you overhear is a little bit of conversation. It sounds like some mild pleasantries, and then Lydia says, "Dear Captain, at least you should have asked us for help." And Miraldine is, "I would never dream of it, darling." And Lydia is like, "But surely our interests align. You can't be paying all of this out of pocket." And Miraldine says, "Oh, please don't worry about me. I would never put the burden of finances on our business partners."
Give Kai a little look.
Yeah, Kai's listening intently.
There's a little bit of sort of polite back and forth. It sounds like Lydia is trying to offer help to Miraldine or talk about what happened to Tarek. And Miraldine is just parrying back all attempts until Lydia is like, "You know, we would pay for this. We would help you in financially at the very least. to give him treatment. I mean, it's the least we could do. Even if the house doesn't do it, Lydia herself would be more than willing to help, and Meraldine politely and ruthlessly declines any offer of financial aid in paying for
Ruthlessly.
Tarek's various upcoming medical procedures. Make insight checks.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
Hell yeah, guys. I love it here. Whew.
You don't know what is going on with Meraldine Frostrude. You don't know why she would
Reject this offer.
say yes to free speak with dead, but reject financial aid from
Where are we
House
right now?
Serrani. From I think you're like sort of disguising yourself behind some houseplants in the corridor.
How far away are they?
I would say about 30 feet.
Well, you're speaking my language. Can Kai tuck behind Luca and run a coin?
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
With advantage, because I'm kind of shielding him.
Sure,
I-
Luca can give you advantage on this stealth check.
Thanks for your big booby breasts for once, Luca.
Yes!
Hey!
Oh, yes!
Okay,
Boobs are useful.
Always, Luca. Mwah.
so you cast Detect Thoughts.
Yep.
On Miss Meraldine.
Yep. Just surface. I don't want to be caught.
I think what you hear is just Meraldine very carefully picking her words so that she doesn't outright insult Lydia to her face.
So she's angry? Is she angry?
It's surface thoughts. The vibe is proud and headstrong and a bubbling tension beneath the surface, but Meraldine is absolutely set in her choices. She is not going to accept help from anyone regarding Tarek's health. She has her own plans, and her pride will not allow anything less. I think the thought, like the hint of a sentence that you catch between her, like what she's actually saying out loud to Lydia, is like how she's picking her words in her mind, is that I brought him to stardom, I will bring him back.
Ooh.
Oh,
Interesting.
interesting. Oh my god.
All right. Good to know.
Meraldine politely excuses herself, saying that she really has to run, but it was lovely talking with Lydia again, seeing her again. I hope she's in the best of health.
Oh my god.
I love her.
Thanks her for all of her concern, but really she's doing quite well. And she will hopefully be able to bring Lydia good news very soon. And Captain Frostrude leaves, leaving Miss Lydia Lelis Dothrani sort of looking onward as she departs with distressed concern,
Is she alone?
frustration. Yeah,
You
No
want-
entourage or anything?
Why don't you go ahead and I'm going to turn my still running detect thoughts onto Lydia and let you just go on ahead, Luca.
Do I want to put myself in her path?
Yes.
make an insight check.
Oh, pardon.
Can I help Luca?
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, yes. You don't have to make that insight check just yet, because and
Okay. Good.
Give you the direct scoop.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
Lydia feels frustrated and outmatched, and sad.
Aww.
It's like, and also a little bit like, why is she being so proud over this? House Durrani loves Tarek's work. Why would they just not help with this? She doesn't get it. Why Miraldine would be so standoffish about this, but at the same time, like, maybe it's a grief thing. Lydia sighs to herself. She is sort of done up in a way that maybe if you weren't familiar with her, you wouldn't immediately recognize her. Certainly she looks nothing like the prima donna on stage, and she doesn't look as glamorous as she was on the night of the gallery. She is wearing sort of a modest but pretty dress and jacket over top, hat, sunglasses, that sort of thing.
Fully Carmen San Diego'd.
A little bit.
She's incognito.
Just a little. I would say it's less of a wide-brimmed hat. Think more like 40s Hollywood business casual.
No idea what that means off the top of my head.
Anyway. Don't worry about it. She has a little ascot scarf and stuff.
Oh.
It's more of like a bell-shaped hat than like a wide-brimmed hat, I would
Oh, cute.
say. Yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
it's like sticks close to the head.
Oh,
Cutouts for the ears. For big elfy ears.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
So she just sighs, looks at her little bouquet of flowers, and
Merlin didn't take the flowers?
Aww.
no,
Oh
they're
dear.
for Tarek. And ends up putting herself to rights, centering herself with a breath, and being like, well, I'd better go ask the front desk if I can leave these for Tarek.
Quick time event. Do we want to approach her?
Yeah, like, gang, what do we do? Should I be like, hey, should I approach her? How should I approach her? If I should approach her.
Should Audrey approach her?
I don't know.
Quick. We need a front.
Man,
Quickly.
do you have any thoughts? Anything that you can... Little voice from the heavens.
This is in
Willow-
meta, so
Yeah.
like we can.
Yeah.
Quick time event.
Willow voice is standing overhead saying, I just asked the front desk of Hoyts whether they knew Lydia.
We're-
You guys are looking at Beyonce presently. Talk to her,
Yeah.
no matter what. So Audrey
We're-
or Luca? Let me think. My first thought process is Luca has a reason to be here that is related directly to tomorrow. Audrey has a reason to be related to the case.
Yep.
We already know what Lydia's got said about the case. So I'm leaning Luca, but I also have a bias because I just want them.
You could go
So-
together.
Yeah, we can go together.
You could go together. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Let's go together. United Front of Investigators.
You might tell
You can help each other.
Look, she's not getting along with Miraldine, but yeah, you guys both go.
Yeah.
Go talk to
What?
Beyonce.
Okay, wait.
So
no,
Luca
are we
looks
like
at Lydia, looks
we
back at Kai.
casually bumping into her, or are we like seeking her out?
I think casual bump just because why lie if you don't have to?
Yeah, casual
Yeah.
bump, and we can make it about the case. Like, that's why we're approaching her,
yeah.
but we didn't come here seeking her out. So let's go!
Yeah.
Oh my god, good luck, guys. I have no idea what I'd be doing.
Audrey says, now I'm Audrey. This is such a fucking day. Okay.
Yep.
The nurse has
Revolving
seen 3
door
of
of
your
personalities.
Oh.
Hey. Use it to your advantage, baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, Audrey's gonna lead the charge, I guess. Unless
Okay.
Luca's fiending to go.
I'm not sure. I have a bias of wanting Luke and Lydia to like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I don't know what angle to approach this because this is so sudden.
Well, she's
Uh,
in a hospital going to leave flowers for somebody who is.
You could probably also pay condolences if you wanted to go look at a certain body before you talk to it. I don't know.
Is it fair to say that if we know who she is, we would recognize that she is probably here to see Tarek?
I don't think that's too much of a stretch. I don't think she would be like, "How did you know?"
Yeah. All right. Well, excuse me.
Oh, yes, hello.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you the Lydia DeThrani? He says that. Audrey says in a quiet
I
voice.
am. Yes, I am. Hi.
I don't mean to draw attention. I can see you probably aren't looking for it today. Gestures.
She gives you
with her.
a charming smile. Yes. A pleasure to meet you.
Audrey Whistler. The pleasure is all mine. And this is my associate, Luca Carnson. Gestures to Luca.
She gives a polite nod. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I imagine this is a very hard time for you and House Thorani.
Yes, it has been a very trying time. You are aware of what happened then?
Yes, we are in fact involved in the investigation regarding the auction hall and all the various unfortunate events.
Oh, I see. Are you approaching me in an official capacity then, or?
We weren't looking for you. We just noticed you were here.
I see. Well, I'm sure we are here to see the same man then.
Yes, so it would seem. Are those for him?
Yes.
Is Meraldine around then?
I believe Captain Frostroot just left.
Oh. Will you still be able to deliver your lovely gift in that case?
Well, I'll have to ask the front desk, won't I?
You could, Luca?
Dying.
Okay.
Is that Luca coughing or Sarah?
Sarah.
Okay. Luke was like, introduce me.
I did. Well, perhaps we can go together.
Do we know what is Tarek probably in the same room?
What do you mean?
Oh no, we didn't see him last time. That was in my head. Damn it. Never mind.
You made that up.
False memories. That's not painful to think about at all. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, cool, nice. Glad you caught that as well.
Also, I still have my detect thoughts up. Is there anything significant coming through on that front?
I think she is like, oh boy, fans, I don't really want to deal with this now. Oh, investigators, I wonder who hired them. I don't recognize them as being part of House Madani, but if they say so, I suppose I'll find out when they talk to the front desk if they have any official paperwork with them.
Fair enough.
Do we have paperwork to say that we're working under Brina?
I believe that Brina did give you something, like a slip of some kind
Yeah,
to be
some
like,
kind.
hey, these people are
We do what we want.
working.
Yeah. Just signed off with her name at the bottom.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like investigating the case of blah blah blah. Please provide this. They are working under House Madani Inquisitive Office, Warning Guild.
Oh, I think as we're like kind of making our way towards the front desk, Audrey will be like, "How is Meraldine taking all this?"
She seems determined to power through it at whatever cost. She is a very strong woman.
So I've heard. It's a very difficult time, even for the strongest people.
Indeed.
I can't imagine how someone would get their hands on. Excuse me, that's probably improper to say. It's just such outstanding circumstances.
Yes. How much do you know about the event? Were you there?
I was present, yes.
Well then, you don't need me to fill you in on the gory details.
No,
They certainly were gory.
indeed. Are you doing all right?
Thank you for your concern. I am managing. I'm just worried about everything else. How is the case progressing, if I might ask?
It's on the move.
Any promising leads?
Maybe a couple. Obviously, I'm not at liberty to discuss them,
Oh, right, of course, yes.
but I promise we are working day in and day out to find out what happened. Before you know it, the folly will be on its way. No scuff, no muss. Does she have any thoughts about the folly?
I think, like, you mentioned the folly, and, like, she thinks about Tarek, and she thinks, like, it's specifically, like, a memory of working with Tarek and, rehearsal and stuff like that. She would love for things to be able to go back to the way they were. She likes that role. She thinks this work is important.
Yeah. Do you think, once everything is corrected, that the folly will be able to continue as it was before?
I certainly hope so. I mean, the performances have only been temporarily suspended for the time being. Obviously, with consideration to myself and my own health, as well as everybody else who was in attendance that night. I wasn't the only cast member who was witness.
Yes, your father was there.
Yes, he was.
How is
Did
he
you
taking the news?
Well, he is stoic as ever. Did you see the folly before? You speak as if you are familiar with the details, or is that simply part of your detective work?
Yes, I was present for one of the shows.
Oh, well. What did you think of it, if I might ask?
Oh. Well, it's difficult to put into words, isn't it? Because... I know we don't use the old form of terrific in the way it was once used, but perhaps it might be apt in this case. It was incredible and turned my blood cold at the same time.
Yes, it's an incredible piece.
Seems like the kind of show you'd want to take on the road.
Well, I don't know about that.
Something Sharn, or not, I wouldn't say Sharn, something the rest of Corvair should see, I'd think.
Perhaps one day.
When they're ready for it.
Indeed. For now, we have a year of, well, with any luck, we'll have a year of performances still. Perhaps put the Gallery of Shadows more on the map.
Do you have special rights? to the show?
I believe that Mr. Elham still retains the exclusive rights to the play itself, but has worked out a deal with House Thorani to put on the performance.
Nah. So the Galleria will be the place to see it for the upcoming year.
Indeed. He's
Huh.
quite particular. He is, in fact, the stage director.
Ah, so not just the writer. Got his hands on the nitty-gritty?
Indeed. Oh, we should probably talk to the front desk now.
And Audrey will go with Lydia.
Like, you've been walking this
Yeah.
whole time, I imagine.
Yeah,
so.
go with Lydia to the front. And I think just we'll kind of let Lydia go ahead and ask her a question.
Yeah, she basically asks the front desk, like, "Hi, I have flowers for Tarek Elham." And the staff look up and is like, "That's very kind of you. Unfortunately, there are no visiting hours for Mr. Elham outside of his next of kin currently. But they can take the flowers and any well wishes and place it with his belongings."
Well, I'm not sure if we should go prying yet, especially in front of Lydia.
Yeah.
Does she seem disappointed that she doesn't get to see him? Or would she prefer not to? Do you think?
Mixed feelings. I think at this point your detect thought spell is expiring.
Yeah, probably.
She gives a sigh and then says, "Yes, delivering them will be all right." She hands over the bouquet. Receptionist takes it with thanks and says, "Have a nice day." Lydia does a little sigh and says, "Well, I suppose there's no helping circumstances."
Oh, with any luck, you'll get to see him in the flesh soon enough, yes?
Yes, I certainly hope so.
Luca want to say anything? Or is Luca just...
I'm trying to decide. I'm like charmed. I don't know what to do. I am in awe of her.
Oh no. Are you swooning, my guy?
No, Sarah is. Oh.
Oh,
Audrey's taking the lead, so Luke is like, okay, I'll just be back here then.
bodyguard.
Yeah. Could I convince the reception to let her briefly go down and say hello?
This
You think?
is no, this is hospital policy. I don't think you have the authority for this unless you want to like pull the "we're detectives" card.
That's what I was thinking of doing.
And I'm like,
You wanna
do we want
fuck
to
that up with Meraldine?
incite that? Meraldine's gonna maybe know then that we did that. And do we want
yeah.
to jeopardize this?
Quick
I
huddle.
guess
There are other
not.
things you can offer to her without breaking hospital
Yeah.
policy. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
of what, other than just like, the potential of guidance, emotional well-being, letter correspondence, walking her back to wherever she's come from, because she is alone. You are a bodyguard, huh? House beneath,
Mm.
yeah. Check out my neck. Do you want? How are you getting?
Do you want me?
What were her feelings on? Because I think my detect thoughts were still up. Did I glean anything about Alar when he was talking about her
Oh,
father?
yeah, Dad.
Said stoic as ever. Was it like, oh, you, or was it exasperated, or like?
It was that is how he is. She's
That's father for you.
She's not especially close to Elar
Oh.
outside of their work together during this play. So I think it's just like you got a glimpse of like there's complicated sort of family relationships there.
Ooh,
Not in a bad way, it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is
Not a
what
happy
happens when
nuclear
you
family.
are like one of 20 children probably
And a house.
in a house.
And he's the head of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had a massive family falling out that the whole world
Yeah.
knows about.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? If Luca's not gonna say anything, and like we might be kind of heading out of the hospital in that case,
Mhm.
I was actually gonna see if I could like pull her aside away from Audrey.
Audrey
In
wants to
effect.
keep questioning her about something.
Okay, yeah, but you go, and then maybe like, you know,
Maybe.
we'll see.
I've
Keep talking.
I've lost my train of thought of how I was gonna start this conversation.
All right.
It's not your fault. It's all me. It's all my gray matter. All right. I think like they're kind of starting to part, and then Audrey's gonna like kind of catch up with Lydia. If I may, I noticed there was a gentleman that seemed to be, perhaps harassing isn't quite the word. He seemed to have some interesting comments about your father. Did you know him?
This would be at the gallery? I
Yes.
don't seem to recall. Could you describe the man?
He was an older gentleman, and I think he had a monocle.
Oh, human?
Yes.
I believe that is I believe that's a Sir Edmund Beckett. Yes. I
Oh.
briefly made his acquaintance. He's I believe, a retired knight of Sharn, Brayland, I believe. Very involved in the art scene on the continent, as I understand.
I guess that explains why he was there.
Yes, I believe so.
But he didn't cause you any trouble. I was just hearing some things that. And Audrey makes like a face, like just sounded uncomfortable.
Oh, no, well, there can be some friction between personalities when it comes to artists. But as far as I'm aware, there's no excessive ill will there.
All right. Well,
He might just be one of those old men who has a face like that.
maybe so. Well, I was just curious, considering the situation, if anyone might be particularly inclined towards causing trouble for Thirani, you know?
Ah, yes, well, I trust that your investigation has been met with nothing but forthright cooperation from House Thirani.
Audrey nods. I was just curious.
I'm afraid I can't help you there.
Oh, you've been plenty of help. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
Oh, of course.
Just gonna do a sneaky little insight check on her, though.
Sure.
Yo.
Ooh.
What more can I glean from that? That whole Edmund Beckett situation.
Honestly, she doesn't think much of him in the sense of like he does not stick in her mind particularly.
Oh.
Nice. Okay.
She met and conversed with a lot of people on that night. A lot of people there had sent her fan mail or like rave reviews. So it's not that he stands out particularly aside from the like he's human, he's from Sharn, This is one of many faces that I have schmoozed with because that is my role.
Gotcha.
That's what society.
Okay. Well, Audrey looks like she's good then, if Luca wanted to take the lead in her stead.
You're gonna like shuffle off.
If Luca's giving me that look, like you have to
Yeah.
leave.
Well, I'm like, this might be easy to talk about one-on-one kind of thing, maybe.
Okay. Well, yep. Audrey will take her leave then.
Okay, so how do you excuse yourself?
I think yeah, she just had her little comment there, like thank you for speaking with me and have a good day, and we'll just
Yeah.
bow on out.
Okay, so Lydia says, farewell, have a lovely day. Notices.
Luca remains stoic.
And Lydia looks over and says,
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be imposing or awkward. I was just wondering if you'd heard anything about your cousin. I know that he was suggested to be the one who did what happened, and he just seems
Oh.
like a very gentle person, so I was wondering if he was doing all right.
I'm sure Errol is fine. He's just keeping out of the public eye for now. I think it was all just a big misunderstanding because of the circumstances at hand. I'm sure you can imagine.
Luca nods. It was a very shocking event. I think people just wanted to have it resolved very quickly.
Yes, I would not be surprised, but these sorts of things aren't exactly resolved quickly, are they?
No, given how long it's been already.
I mean, it's barely been 10 days.
One
I
would hope
imagine-
that. Sorry.
That's fine. I was just going to say, I imagine that this will be an event that lasts long in the memory of many people.
Luca nods.
You were saying?
Sorry, it slipped my mind. It obviously wasn't very important.
Oh, that's all right.
If I may ask, it obviously, you don't have to answer me. I'm just some stranger, but have you had the chance to speak to anyone about what happened?
I believe I gave my statement
Oh, no.
on the evening.
Someone who might help with difficult feelings.
Oh. Yes, please don't worry about me. I know quite well how to cope with grief.
Luca gives her a sympathetic smile.
It is part of my job as an actress to embody emotion and allow myself to be a conduit for it. That does mean being able to understand and parse one's own feelings.
That's a very romantic way of looking at it. Luca seems a little shocked and like bewildered in a very nice way. Like, wow, that's so cool.
Perhaps I could interest you in some more theater sometimes.
I would very much appreciate that. I haven't had the chance to since coming to Regalport. Or
Oh,
even
that
before
is-
that.
Oh, that is quite a shame. I would quite recommend it to you. You seem the sort who would enjoy the expression of it, and this is not just vanity speaking. Obviously,
I'm
I
sure.
would love for people to view my own performances, but there are many astounding pieces of theater to be viewed.
Well, my understanding is that you're the current most acclaimed. Is that the right word? Actress.
I am certainly a very notable newcomer to the scene. But I'm happy to hear that my reputation precedes me.
Well, it was very nice to meet you. I hope that you can take some time for yourself.
Thank
Even
you.
if we aren't deeply affected by things like this, I know that I have been moved. So,
She nods in agreement. It has been lovely meeting you as well. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope your investigation goes well, and I hope that you get a chance to experience the catharsis of watching a play sometime.
hopefully one with you starring.
That
I'm
would be
gonna
nice.
offer her my hand, and if she takes it,
Yeah, she'll give you a handshake.
I'm gonna just gently bow over her hand. Have a pleasant rest of your day.
She gives you a smile and a wave as you leave.
All right.
Cool. So, where to next?
You
Wow.
guys met Beyonce. You guys met Beyonce. Hey! Good job! I'm making all these faces over here.
I think
Oh,
Anne is ready to go talk to Willow, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willow is
I want
still
my
sad
shifter.
sacking over lunch, so
Much later on for us in the timeline, so maybe you're back.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're back in time.
I think it like syncs up. Latila was not at the Trove.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
great.
I'm gonna suggest that Luca and Anne, not knowing that Willow has been out, grab lunch to take back to the hotel.
We've had lunch. We had lunch with
Have
Elsa.
we? Oh my god, so much has happened
Yes,
today.
It's dinner time now.
No,
Snacks.
I think I imagined Willow's. Okay, so what I imagined was like, sort of imagined a cut back from Lydia
Mhm.
saying the thing about like, hope you get to experience the catharsis of the theater. If this were a show, it would
Mhm.
be like the cut back from that conversation to like Willow fiddling with the pamphlet while waiting for
Mhm.
food, maybe with Damon. Damon said they were gonna get
Yeah.
lunch, or whatever,
Yeah.
and just kind of like idly entertaining. So I don't even get to roll to see if Latila was there.
She's not there.
She's just not there. Okay. Willow's just feeling a little bit dejected and quiet.
Dan
Has
holds up
anything
the
happened at your lunch?
paper bags of food.
Oh wait, no,
Shall
you
we
bring
find
back.
another rooftop to have our lunch on, or just head back?
Willow shifts as if he has interrupted a thought. Not interrupted a thought, as if they weren't expecting him to talk.
Sorry. Pardon?
Don't worry about it. You want to head back, or?
God. Willow's racking their head mind. I'll insight check him. They didn't mean to miss what he said. Whatever.
He just wants to know where you want to eat next.
Oh my god.
Maybe.
The intelligence check was Willow checking, is there anything else I can do while I'm out? Is there anything I can offer? I can't even read what Damon's feeling. I
think I think you've hit a dead end. You need to. At best, you can come bring back some leads to N potentially, like to N and
Yeah.
Luca, and be like, "Have you guys talked to Captain Favors as a friend of Beraldine Frostroot?"
Yeah.
How
That's
did
fine.
it? Did it go well? Yes, no.
Okay, and I think Willow's going to make a little dejected face underneath their mask so you can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
And say,
I suppose that's all I'll be able to accomplish today.
and probably will mention.
Didn't you say you had errands?
Wasn't anything that important.
Oh, we can still do them before we head back, pardon me.
Sure, yeah, I mean, I can just, I'll just swing past the place. Let's... Yeah, so... Go walking. You chat at all while you walk, or is it the semi-awkward quiet?
Semi-awkward quiet, because Willow's feeling a bit like they've wasted Damon's day as well. So it's just like they're just following. They'll follow along and try and be helpful to wherever he's going.
Okay. Damon swings past a newsstand and specifically a international newsstand and buys 10 different newspapers, all of them imported.
Willow tips their head at that. Can I insight check that? Or intelligence? What's he doing?
He's buying 10 different newspapers from 10 different places.
Why?
Because that's the world news.
Because
Oh,
he's Mr. Worldwide.
okay. All right.
So it's like the Karenberg Chronicle, Sharn Inquisitive, that sort of thing. Like some newspapers from Karnath, at least one from Throneport, maybe. Just international newspapers. Obviously, the ones that are from further away are a little bit out of date by a couple weeks, but hey, slow news is better than no news.
I think Willow's they've been tagging along kind of behind him, but once they see that he's got an ever-growing stack of newspapers, is he just holding them?
I think he folds them up on the counter and tucks them under his arm. He's also carrying the bags of food and potions.
Willow's
Been
He
shopping.
literally looks like an uncle right now.
Yeah.
Willow's going to catch up and say,
Okay. I can put any of those things in my pocket if you'd like to free your hands.
Will they fit?
Hold them enough.
Willow gives
I feel
a
like you
look of,
could
"Does he not
roll
know
up
these
the
are party pockets?"
newspapers.
No, I think he doesn't know these are party pockets.
Oh.
But he has a special. Willow's gonna
Hold the umbrella out of your
ask,
pocket.
no, Willow's going to sort of hold out a hand to be handed something.
Okay, Damon hands you the newspapers.
Willow shoves it into their pocket in the way of showing it's bigger than expected. Is that what he was suggesting?
It was more the mouth of the pocket, but I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
Willow
okay.
folded it. Okay. So he did know that they were party pockets. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's seen me take stuff out of them before. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just double checking. That was thought you were sharp? Yes, you are sharp. Okay. Willow might hold one, maybe the Sharnish one,
Okay.
and just look it over.
You're well informed.
That's part of the job. Gotta keep up with what's going on.
Which job?
The one I don't get paid for.
Ah, I see, sir. Really shouldn't use the word job then.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you had a sidekick.
That's not really appropriate to call it a hobby, is it? And calling it my life's mission is a bit dire, so job is good enough for me.
Oh, God. Damon, come on. Okay. Willow just gets hit by the... Damon says that's so light for something that is so heavy. But now we're talking about this, kind of. Kind of. Well, it's been raised.
It's been raised. It might be dropped in a hot second.
Boy, just because.
They rolled a 9 on insight, so that's not great.
Oh my God. Willow's going to. I'm gonna roll an insight back. Better than you. Hi, how are you feeling?
It is what it is. He doesn't mean it in a way of like, oh, I'm so sad, or anything like that. It's just like, this is the task that I am set on, and I'm gonna do it, and this is part of it. So, he's not treating it like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think he probably like moves the conversation along.
Okay. Is he gonna say something?
I don't know. That's like looking at the horizon, being like, lots of seagulls out there. He just says something.
Okay.
He doesn't say it like that, but you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Willow's before he can then, because Willow has insighted, they know that he isn't meaning to be debilitatingly heavy, and it's not Willow's job to imply weight where there isn't any, or where there is. They can observe it and they can cope. Okay, so Willow's going to then add.
I suppose we are both working jobs without pay. Presently.
Right, yeah, you've got that murder investigation going on.
Yes. You know, Anne and Luca are currently hired in an official capacity to investigate that.
Huh. Good for them. And you're not because, not a fan of paperwork?
Breath?
Because I've involved myself in a decidedly not legal way. And
Right.
to make myself known to the authorities would be to compromise that position that I've put myself in.
Makes sense.
So, yeah.
So, yep.
In fact, today was sort of supposed to be more fruitful than it turned out to be, and it hasn't been.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Well, at least we got a hot lunch.
Willow sags in that, like, I don't know how to say this kind of way. Fine. Willow will just say it. They've had a fail of a day.
You're not only walking around with me because you feel bad, are you?
No.
Or because at the end of this, I your your job, I will. It's
Don't worry about it. Should we catch a cab home?
I am worrying about it.
I know.
Do you?
I know I've put you in an uncomfortable position, and to be fair, I'm also in a pretty uncomfortable position, so there's not really a whole lot I can do about it. But
No. Before you deflect, what uncomfortable position do you think that I have been placed in?
Damon gestures. Do I really have to spell it out? I mean,
Willow's
everything.
look says, yes. Sorry. What?
The whole, asking you to help me do an incredibly dangerous and stupid thing, because our homeland exploded. And
That's carry on. Pardon me.
sorry, could you repeat that? Zeke didn't catch that.
Mims started and then stopped because he started talking, so never mind is what Willow said. Carry on.
Where Damon was like, the whole asking you to do a dangerous and stupid thing because our homeland exploded and making you face the fact that you haven't been home in a long ass time, and just the whole thing's uncomfortable.
No.
No?
No. Well, yes, but not. But no, that, what I'm trying to say is, the uniquely difficult position of holding your life's mission hostage while I try and figure out what I'm doing puts me in a distinctly uncomfortable position when it comes to liaising with you at all.
Hostage?
Not hostage, then. If you are willing to act without condition in favor of a person who can give you something that you want, then you,
Willow briefly puts their head in their hands like they don't know how to explain this.
what I'm trying to say is, if
you said no, then I'd take the no and I'd leave, man. I'd have to find another way. It's a shit thing, but it's what it is.
But you haven't left yet because I haven't said no yet, so anything in the interim is distressing. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Because I'm holding Until I decide, I hold the value of a life in my hands.
Damon shrugs.
Frogs.
If you want to put it like that, shrug.
And as a result of holding that life in my hands, I can't determine whether any of the actions that you take thereafter are my
Well, let us not explain it.
You know how you said I couldn't make you do anything that you didn't want to do?
Willow nods.
Same here. If I really didn't want to do something, do you think you could force me to do it?
This is what.
Sincere.
I just got a headache.
If you're worried about me humiliating myself at your feet for the sake of the mission, don't.
That's not it.
And what is it?
The last time I asked you for help, you reminded me of the job, which blew some other assumptions out of the water, which is fine. Then I came back, criticizing that action, and you offered in exchange unconditional compliance. The next morning, sleepless, you offer me a note. Since then, I am unable to determine whether that note and any future services will be offered without the burden of my conscience. Leading me to believe that everything that you offer me is in exchange for the possibility of saving a life or lives.
And if I say yes, then what?
Then I won't ask you to assist me with this murder mystery.
Well, like I said, it's an uncomfortable position.
Willow doesn't know what to make of that. God damn.
Look, I could lie to you and say, no, it's because I want to be your friend and all that. I hardly know you. You hardly know me. You're too smart for that anyway. I just figured, you'd already seen through me. I might as well put my cards on the table.
What does he mean by the cards?
He means that, he wasn't going to tell you about the mission in the first place.
Right.
He told you straight up, I'm going to go fight a dragon, and I need help from you specifically. Yeah. That's already giving away so much more information than he was necessarily comfortable parting with.
I don't know what to do. I assume he waved down a cart earlier, so I feel like we're at a taxi stand, more or less.
Yeah, might be back
Either
at the
that
Bone
or you're
Dragon
walking. Yeah.
by now.
Actually, how's Willow looking?
At the ground a bit.
And emotionally? 24.
24?
Yeah.
What did he say about, when he said we're not friends, we hardly know each other earlier?
Yes.
Willow seems a little crestfallen in general. But in a way that they can't put into words. It's very similar to an earlier feeling. They kind of feel like they've run out of options. They don't know whether to ask him bluntly, help me then, and I'll pay you. They don't know if they should point out, we have a lot of common ground. We could be friends. But then I don't think Willow even thinks that. That's kind of just
I mean, what Damon is saying that, he's not going to try and manipulate Willow into being his friend.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But there's still it's hard to put into words because Willow brain is just scrambled egg. God damn. They just feel I think the overarching feeling that Damon gets is I've failed another conversation. I've failed to convey myself clearly, or I don't know, maybe it was never a smart thing to convey to begin with. I've just had a failure of a day, and I'm topping it off with failing this.
Look. Don't blame yourself, kid, okay? You've been given an impossible task. Here, let's trade. Damon hands you the bags of food and gestures you to give him the newspapers back.
Willow digs them out of their pockets. We'll hand the one back that they were holding, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
The rest are in their pocket. Willow probably ask.
Do you want all of them back?
If you don't mind.
Sad, sorry sight of Willow pulling all of these newspapers out of their pockets of holding.
We're at the hotel.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hmm?
Damon tries to make eye contact with you through the mask. I'm sorry.
Visible flinch.
For what?
Not getting it?
Willow shakes their head.
Don't be.
I'd like to be.
Something that could be a little laugh through the mask.
Well then, apology accepted.
I know this whole thing was lopsided from the start. I don't really know how to make it even. Hope tomorrow's better. And he walks off.
I have one answer to a question from yesterday.
Yeah?
You asked what I thought when I first met you. I answered, annoying, interesting, I believe.
Yeah?
I believe it is more honest to say. Isn't his brother very lucky?
Willow seems like they could have said more, but they sort of stopped, like, sinking a bit. They're not visibly sinking, but their thoughts are, like, faltering.
Damon sort of bows his head so that his hair covers his eyes and exhales through his nose. You're a person of few words, but man, when you say them, you're a good kid, Willow.
Alas, not a very good sibling.
Damon shrugs. Nobody's perfect. That's why we keep trying, right?
Willow will nod. Bit tight-lipped kind of nod, but you can't see their lips, obviously. Everything's tight,
Yeah.
it's a Warforged. But
Yeah. I think what Damon does is that he, like, gives you a sort of gentle cheer up punch under the chin.
Thanks for the company today.
He nods. See you later.
Willow's gonna chill a bit in the courtyard before they think to even head upstairs. Like, they'll let him go up first.
Walks off with his newspapers, and you are left holding all of the bags of lunch.
Did he eat?
I don't
Better
know.
have. Oh my god! Oh, no.
You probably ate something like while you were walking.
Yeah, you can eat, like, without a mask on, so that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Just assume Willow sits there for a bit to collect themselves, because why? Yeah, is this so hard? And they will then eventually end up going upstairs.
Yeah, and Luca might be there already.
Yeah, I figured as much, which is why I waited to.
Yeah.
God.
So,
Come upstairs.
late afternoon, early evening.
And then Luca.
Willow arrives
discussing.
back in the room.
Ah. Good evening, Gil.
Willow,
I brought food.
And Willow removes the mask and plops the food down.
How's Willow doing?
Ask them questions first. You can't tell from their face alone. Just kidding. You rolled a 17 insight check. Willow looks a little defeated.
Rough day.
Not a very productive one.
Well,
Got a pamphlet.
that might yet change. And like stands up from where they're sitting on the bed when they were conversing with Luca, and pulls out their pocketbook. Gil Gasket. I would like to speak with you in a professional capacity.
Willow perks a little, and they'll put their mask back on and put their hat back on and sit down.
Yeah, get in the role.
Is this an official investigation?
Oh, so I'm told. I would like to ask you a couple questions regarding magic, the arcane, those sorts of things. I hear you might be familiar.
Ah, a consultation. Very clever.
Exactly. All right.
Well, answer to the best of my ability.
I'm sure. And if you don't know off the top of the head, maybe you have resources you can access. It gives a little
Indeed.
smirk. All right, let's see. What
That
do
indeed is a
you...
little strained, just as an aside.
Mm.
Carry on, sorry.
What do you know about magic that could potentially alter someone's memories?
Can I do an Arcana check?
Yeah.
It's a 10.
That would have to be pretty fucking powerful magic, and you don't know any of it off the top of your head.
You said that with
No,
such a
just
demon tone.
Inside their head.
Sorry.
I don't want my Willow's inner mind theater voice is now like occupying Damon voice. Like, stop it. So wait, you
Sorry.
said pretty fucking powerful. What?
It would be... That would have to be pretty powerful magic. You don't know any off the top of your head that could do that. You can certainly, in the traditional way of changing somebody's memory, in the sense of, like, you could make them think that they saw something else. Or, like, you could disguise an event, but you don't know anything about, like, actually going into somebody's memories and changing them.
Willow would say
Not with a
something along
10.
the lines- Yeah, Willow would say something along those lines with like a shrug, and they'll say like basically what you said, which is vague, and then add to it.
I do have a strange friend that is known to memory dive, if that counts.
Interesting. Have to have a talk with that friend.
They're a bit hard to get a hold of.
Elusive bastard, huh? And taking notes.
I wouldn't call them that.
I would.
Yeah, they are busted, actually. Pardon me, is this man a part of our consultation?
I'll leave this one off the record.
Right.
Alright. How about magic that might involve summoning, I don't know, creature, non-humanoid, to a space, and then removing it from that space? Any magic that sounds like it might be capable of that?
Do another Arcana check.
Willow does a little head tilt too, like, oh, something different than the undead.
Yeah, there we go. Most creatures that are summoned as part of a spell automatically return to where they came from, which is usually a different plane of existence, once the spell expires. In the case of elementals, for example, ones that aren't native to the plane of Corvair, as in like just kicking around in the wild, will usually come from Lamania and then dissipate back into the ether if they are not bound. Similar for fey creatures, or even celestial creatures that are asked by various spiritual leaders to provide aid. You've heard stories of vassals of the sovereigns summoning a celestial avatar, an angel, to protect people in times of distress. And then it disappears once its job is done. Depending on the sort of degree of power of the creature, is feasible. And
What's
certainly summoning and then having it disappear.
Yeah.
Usually these would be relatively smallish creatures, probably no bigger at most than a horse.
Willow will say all of that and then cap it off again with,
Are you dealing with some sort of memory middling creature that appears and then disappears?
Not sure yet. Thus the consultation.
I see.
How about magic through doors or other solid objects? How far can you go with that? Obviously, I'm aware of a bit, but and like taps their pencil to their head. Could any of these spells be done through a wall?
let's do another Arcana check.
No, I think this is basic enough theory. So, depending on the spell, it will usually require line of sight or familiarity with the space that you are trying to cast it in. Obviously, certain materials will block magic outright. But say an ordinary door that is even slightly ajar or not particularly well fitted or has a spacious enough keyhole for somebody to peep through, you could cast through that. Yeah. Might be a little bit difficult.
Okay. Willow shares that as well.
Right. And magic that can influence emotion, fear, I'm aware of that one. Are there any others you can think of that might inspire really strong emotional reactions?
God, Willow has a strong emotional reaction to that question.
Make another Arcana check. Yeah, there's several spells. Calm emotions does the opposite of that. There's things like charm and enthrall, where you inspire myopic focus on a target or particularly favorable emotions. They vary in intensity. There's also things like hideous laughter, which literally makes someone find everything so funny that they roll on the ground laughing and are incapacitated by it.
And I think Willow will gear a little more towards morbid outcomes because of their assumption. Is there anything along the lines of like fear? Like that kind of negative or intense?
Yeah.
Something that seems like it could be weaponized. Of course, the laughing to death could be weaponized. So can charm, honestly.
Yes.
But all of those can be. But
it's like, yeah, fear, or confusion. Sometimes things that might inspire blind aggression. Strong emotion, the stronger the emotional effect, the more simple the emotion has to be.
yeah, of course.
And
Okay.
nods and keeps taking notes.
Willow seems a little bit uncomfortable with the outcome of that one. Like they'll say the bright ones first and then kind of sit a little different, I think.
And glances up at them and then back to their notebook. Oh, I think that's it for now. Unless you have anything you'd like to add? Or a question?
Sounds like a dire case you have in your hands.
Bit messy.
Can I do some kind of check to see, like, just a quick fire process that information with Willow Brain rather than Mims?
Mm-hmm.
Like an intelligence check?
Yeah.
To see if there's anything I can think to ask or say.
Intelligence, yeah.
Oh.
I think oof. You know what? Roll an investigation check, because this is technically an investigation thing. This is synthesizing information with logic.
Am I overriding that one?
Yes.
I was going to
I'm
say
giving
thank
you
and waiting for
advantage.
another one. Oh.
Better.
Better
Not a
than
1.
Hmm.
I think the thing is, like, were you able to find any known spells at the crime scene? Would be a good question to ask.
Okay. Then I think I'm going to say too that, like, if that was advantage, the little blip on their system was like the, oh no, if I think about this, I'm going to crash and burn, swerve, and then into another thought. So they'll ask that then. So any evidence of a particular spell used at the scene?
Mm-hmm.
Do I
I'm allowed
have
to ask
any?
that without breaking contract?
I don't know if Anne's allowed to answer that.
Yeah,
You
do
can
I know?
ask any questions without.
Because then I don't. Rom isn't remembering anything specific, but feel free to.
I think the only one that was mentioned was fear or something similar.
Yeah. And like scratches at their head a bit with their pencil. I'm not sure. I'm at liberty to say.
For now, you did mention fear as the only one. So I feel like
Yes.
even though, like, Willow has gleaned kind of that fear might be the basis of you mentioning it, hence why they responded like with other fear-ish ones. That was like info without being dropped, technically.
Do you?
Indirect info drop.
Yeah, I think and might follow up.
Give me one more Arcana check, Willow.
Okay.
Because if a magical effect took place and it wasn't a spell, it might be an innate ability.
Yeah, that's and I think N is like on that same trajectory, and they're about to ask. I know it's not really your wheelhouse, but is there a monster that could cause emotional, magical, and wiggles their pencil around influence?
Is that our kind of check to answer that?
Sure, we'll let that ride.
Oh no, like, because isn't that kind of the same question? Like, creatures are capable, but also then that would mean monsters are
Yeah.
capable, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Like, if it is an innate ability.
a monster is a creature.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's the same logic.
Yeah.
Same word, basically. So,
Yeah. There are a lot of creatures out there, probably more than you know, that would potentially have very powerful, emotional, manipulating magic for whatever reason.
yeah. Willow is back to thinking again of the true sight thing that Damon mentioned. Like, it's a stretch. It's a stretch, and he made it known that it was a bloody stretch, but, like, it was something mentioned. You know? Like, even if it's not that, it's just the idea of it. Like, some people are capable of crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even if you don't know off the top of your head, you do, as I understand, have some access to research materials. I don't know if that might be helpful in this case at identifying possibilities like that. I don't need all the answers right now.
Willow looks a little tense, but they will nod.
I can look into it for the sake of knowledge.
Sounds good to me. All right. And we'll snap their book shut. If that's everything, that's everything. Thank you for your time, Gil.
You're very welcome. What name are you going by again?
I'll take your pick. Anything but the one you know.
Jason.
Not that one.
Jeremy.
Not yet.
Winston.
Probably not.
Wally.
Am I a dog?
James.
Johan?
I like that.
All the J names. Where did J come from? And pauses after saying J 2 times because their brain just fired off in a random direction.
Jamie! What is that you?
Just like squints for a minute.
Oh, I have a question. Say that you were planning to do a ritual and the ritual has a list. And one of the things on that list might not be needed anymore. Do you have any suggestions for what you could replace that with?
Willow removes their mask so that you can see the way that they have scrunched their eyebrows at you, like, what?
Luke is giving you a face like, please understand what I mean.
Make an intelligence check.
Me?
Yeah.
Obviously not Luca. Okay.
I don't have one of those.
Luca is implying something.
Yep, he is.
He sure is. Willow's. I'm going to assume that if you have to talk your way around it, I'm probably not supposed to answer it.
I give Anne like a look like, do you think?
I think Anne is making a cutthroat gesture with the pencil. Like, not only should we probably not be talking about this with Willow, Willow probably doesn't want to answer, considering how much Willow has wanted to stay apart from the whole, Myraldine resurrection necromancy area.
Luca nods and then slumps a little bit, and then he sits up and he's like, guess who we met today?
Who?
Yes.
Let's see. Cheswick.
Who?
Obviously not him then. You can let me know.
We met Miss Lydia Ditherani.
Oh, is she the murderer?
Doesn't seem like
can't-
it.
Can't tell you about that.
Oh. Well. Good. Did you get an autograph?
No. Should I?
Probably not. Did you get her address? Willow says with a level of like bitterness because they asked around for it today.
Well, she lives at the compound, right?
Didn't get her address, but did find out that certain someone didn't stick in her mind.
Willow's eyebrows bounce. Oh. That's reassuring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it seems you both had a more productive day than I did. And at least you made a connection.
What did you
But
get up
I'm
to
going
today
to go
while we were out
shower.
and about? Okay.
Nothing useful. But Willow just makes a weird shrug. What I was trying to say is I'm going to go shower before I ask questions that will nullify your contracts.
Smart.
Thank you. Besides, if certain people have a ritual tomorrow, then they should probably get some rest.
Who could that be?
I don't know.
I bet he's handsome.
Yeah, his name is probably Jason.
Johnson.
He is pretty handsome, Willow says as they close the door behind them.
Yeah, but he's a buzzkill. And look at N like, this is you. You're the buzzkill.
And shrugs like, yeah, I know.
I think let's cut the scene here.
Yes.
So, do we want to skip forward in time?
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm good.
Are
too.
we?
Yep.
Oh, I just thought we'd be finishing now.
Yeah.
I don't mind going a little longer to.
I
what's the
think
setup?
I'll just do the setup.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. No.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. Okay, there we go. It is the next day, 27th of Dravago. You pick up Seeker Elsa at the docks from the ferry and accompany her to the Blessed Wings Hospital. As you announce yourselves to the secretary, you are swiftly led to a private room where Captain Frostroot is already standing at ease, waiting for your arrival. Ah, there you are. Right on time. She gestures to the privacy curtain behind her. He's been set up in preparation. Are we ready for the main event? We have come here to cast Speak with Dead on the body of Tarek Elham, with Sika Elsa as the facilitator of the ritual.